Hi everyone, #1 Marmaduke fan here. Still going through the big pile of True Believers $1 comics I bought, looking for series I'm really interested in. And man, I think I am dead interested in picking up the old floppies or the graphic novels of this one. What's fun about getting back into superhero comics for me as an adult is when I was a kid, what I read was kind of limited by, the tastes of my dad and my older bro, what they'd buy and give to me since I didn't live near a comic book shop or what the library had. So, Marvel Essentials Hulk, Marvel Essentials Avengers, Marvel Essentials Spider Man, Marvel Essentials X-Men. Those were kind of what I was stuck with at the library. And my older bro wasn't a big X-Men fan because I think he got kind of tired of peak X-Men and all the X-Men spin-off titles when that was one of Marvel's major properties and everything was spinning off X-Men. So I never encountered or had much interest in the New Mutants except seeing a couple pictures of her and saying, man, she looks cute. I wonder what this is about. And I totally dig this. I mean, diversity in comics. So we've got a white Southerner guy from Kentucky, a Brazilian, black instructor, Vietnamese, French heritage, Irish. They call her a fundamentalist in her upbringing, so I'm guessing that means Scots Presbyterian. My girl, Protestant for the win. Cheyenne. This is diverse, except in modern SJWMarvel comics, this guy would clearly be the villain and the evil jerk in every situation. This character's currently on the U.S. Avengers, and they're portraying him okay, but I don't know. Diversity in modern SJW Marvel seems to be every single white blonde male is evil. Is evil at worst, or at the very minimal, they're toxic. If they're heroes, they're toxic and nasty to everyone. But here he's part of the team, and there's some real intellectual character and ethnic diversity, where the ethnic diversity is just one aspect of these characters. It's not the sum total of their characters. And the comics of this era, they had that sort of soap opera-y feel where all the emotions were running high. There's some cute, like Roberto hitting on the young innocent Scottish Presbyterian, I'm assuming, girl, and her being a little innocent and not sure what that means. There's romance, there's high emotion and drama, there's building anger and fear. I mean, everything is kind of cranked up to 11 on the emotional spectrum, where if they have a disagreement, it's almost going to the level of a fight and threats of death, and this is heightened, right? In real life, you wouldn't call these a group of friends, but in the context of a superhero comic book where people are flying around, these over-the-top, exaggerated emotions and expressions they read within the context of the story, and they give us a chance for some big action lines and action and the slam sound effects, everything we love about comic books. Thing number 2 I noticed about this, I think, is just how fantastically thought balloons were used. And it's almost like Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit 2,200,000, and 26 for why thought balloons are superior to those boxes. Rasputin, lifting up cute Kitty Pryde and them having kind of a cute romantic relationship that's implied through the photographs. Oh, great. Hold on. These are new characters for me. So Danielle Moonstar. So Danielle watering the plants and thinking and having complex thoughts that work well in the context of thought balloons. If this was a contemporary comic, it'd be like a little yellow box, and you'd be lucky if you can tell if she was the one thinking, because sometimes they just expect you. Sometimes they put like the superheroes symbol there of saying this is Spider-Man thinking, but sometimes it'll just be a gray box, and you're supposed to know, oh, that's the Punisher. Oh, that's Black Panther. So they probably have like a little yellow box, and it'd be spread out everywhere. And maybe, I guess on the one hand, they're more compressed. They have like tighter sentences and more economy of language with the boxes, but this allows a bit more coherent thoughts, and it allows thoughts and words to be connected together. Like you might say something and then go right back to thinking, and the beautiful connection of the balloon to the bubble, from the bubble to the cloud, allows that transition to work. Yes, bring back the thought bubbles. Danny is has expression throughout this whole scenario, and it's always heightened expression. Let me see here. What was the next thing I wanted to get at? So I guess this is an era where Professor X is salty about the X-Men. I don't know, maybe they got hurt or something. I don't remember that part from when I read the X-Men Essentials years ago. Yet he has them dressed up in X-Men comics. They're all kind of behind the eight ball and inexperienced in the use of their powers. Man, the girls are so cute and the guys are so cool, but everybody's cool and everybody's an action star. This is a cast of characters who... Oh, I loved this. Okay, so then after Shun has... Everybody's failed the Danger Room, and Danielle's getting more and more freaked out, even though she subconsciously knows that this won't hurt her. She consciously knows that the Danger Room shouldn't hurt her. She's subconsciously terrified. She's terrified of her powers. She's terrified of her role in the team. She's terrified of finding a place. And just look at that. Look at that. Terror, the eyebrows knit, the wide eyes used in a correct context, that you can't just draw a character with this sort of bug-eyed look all the time. This is a bug-eyed look in a time where she's terrified. Body language conveying that, kind of a calmer scene building up to this. This is the payoff, so calm, boom. And even their skin tone is changed to kind of pop it forward and distinguish it from the rest of the panels. And then running in terror. Yes! Oh, so much yes to this expression in this life. And then every character gets a little building moment to introduce who they are and what their jive is. So Wolfsbane comes and gives her a little, they have like a girl-to-girl chat, and then Roberto's still hinting that he thinks she's cute. Oh, and then what's his name? Gyrick is conspiring against the X-Men. Okay, this is the scene that I really connected with. So because Psyche freaked out and didn't go into the Danger Room last time, and because that sort of represents to her fear of her powers and her fear of belonging, she comes back to the Danger Room and she remembers her heritage, and she talks about being a Cheyenne. And this works spectacularly. She is mentioning her ethnic heritage not as just a button she wears on her chest to score victim points in the Oppression Olympics at a woke progressive school, to get reparations or something. She is remembering her ethnic heritage because she is remembering her family and her upbringing. Your racial identity or your ethnic identity doesn't mean much outside of the context of how you were raised, who your family are, and what your life was like growing up. She makes reference to her Cheyenne heritage in connection to a problem she has had since childhood and in trying to find a purpose and a place with the New Mutants. So, spitting out my gum here so I can talk, but I am so disgusting. That might have just topped when I had a cold and was sniffling in the middle of my comic reviews and you could see it. Oh, man. At least my apartment doesn't smell or have bed bugs like some comics professionals we know. But anyway, the point I'm getting at is, in a contemporary comic, how would they write a Psyche story? Well, maybe it might be she goes to an Indian reservation and she sees poverty and she contemplates on the sadness of this situation and of privilege, and then she fights some white supremacist who likes the Washington Redskins or something. It'd be some sort of ham-fisted, hey everyone, she's Cheyenne, did I say she's Cheyenne? And she wouldn't get to go on an adventure. It would be super duper Cheyenne adventures on the reservation. Doesn't the American government suck? Issue number 6 of 6 before it's canceled. Here, she makes reference to her heritage at a point where it's important to her character, to her soul, to who she is, and that reference, that allusion to her Cheyenne heritage is really just the lead-in to an adventure in the Danger Room, where someone mysteriously is trying to kill her. Could it be Shun? We don't know. They're hinting maybe it's Shun getting revenge for the fight they had earlier. And man, her expression during these whole fights, fear, surprise, leaning back, dodging forward in this beautiful curve, and the lighter colors showing where she was, and then the darker colors showing where she is, kicking but still freaked out at how she's doing this, swinging through, and she's still got that freaked out expression. She's so behind the 8 ball, but she's still kicking butt. Wow! This is something I never would have been interested in, and I buy it for $1, because what the heck, it's $1, and now I'm digging it, and I'm invested. Yeah, boy. All right, I'm #1 Marmaduke fan. I'm so glad I discovered this. This is such an exciting part of getting back into superhero comics and getting to buy them for myself, really for the first time. You know, because when I was a kid, through my teenage years, it was the library and what I got for Christmas. And now it's what I can go buy for myself, and A+. A+. Mwah. Mwah. Que bella. Que bella. Anyway, that's DNC's bit. I gotta get my own bit. I'm #1 Marmaduke fan. Summa triggerum, summa spoilerum, summa tangentum. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, and I'll try to get some more digital codes for you guys. I've got to go through all my Marvel comics and decide what I want to give away. But I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.